Elon Musk just revealed this about the James Webb Telescope. Humans have always been enthralled by the idea of learning more about our ancestors. We've always been curious about the world around us, and we've always sought to find new life elsewhere in the universe. We're all looking for explanations for the origins of our existence and the nature of the cosmos as a whole. In our search for knowledge, we've opened the door to space travel. To colonize other planets, man has already stepped foot on the moon. In the near future, a new era of space exploration will begin, and with the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope, the answers we seek may be right in front of us. What is the James Webb Space Telescope all about? What does Elon Musk have to say about the Webb Telescope? Welcome to your favorite channel, Unlimited SpaceX. We'll be discussing all these in today's video, so ensure you watch to the end. But before that, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification button in order not to miss out on any of our future uploads. Now, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Space exploration has long been a passion of Elon Musk. Reusable rocket technology pioneered by SpaceX has significantly reduced the cost of space travel. In addition, he's working on a vehicle, Starship, that has the potential to revolutionize space travel, and it has a capacity of 100 passengers for interplanetary travel. It's not necessary to limit space travel to humans aboard the Starship. We will not be discussing the Starship in this video. Instead, we'll discuss Elon Musk's recent revelations regarding the James Webb Space Telescope, which is the Hubble Space Telescope's successor. What is the James Webb Space Telescope? James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is a massive and complicated telescope in the sky, and there has never been a more powerful or more complicated observatory built by mankind. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, ESA, European Space Agency, and CSA, Canadian Space Agency, collaborated on the construction of this telescope. It was named after NASA Administrator James E. Webb, who served from 1961 to 1968. He was instrumental in the Apollo program's achievement and played a key part in its success. This new Webb telescope is built as a replacement for the Hubble Space Telescope. When the Hubble Space Telescope was deployed into orbit in 1990, it suffered some sort of myopia as a result of an engineering flaw, resulting in hazy images. As a result, NASA began planning a successor to Hubble's telescope as soon as it was launched, and in 1996, work on the $500 million James Webb Space Telescope got underway. Although the Webb Telescope was originally scheduled to launch in 2007, delays and cost overruns plagued the project. Because of this, it had to undergo a major redesign in 2005. Before being launched into space on December 25, 2021, the telescope underwent an extensive testing phase, which was finished in 2016. $10 billion were spent on the total project. It took over 3 decades to build this telescope from the ground up. More than 300 institutions of higher learning from the United States and 14 other nations collaborated with NASA on this project. Northrop Grumman was the project's primary subcontractor. In the wake of the telescope's launch, Elon Musk has given his thoughts on the project, and humanity is only a few steps away from solving the mysteries of the universe thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope. When the BBC ran a story about the telescope, Elon Musk tweeted, "This is a huge deal." Developing NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is a significant accomplishment for the agency and other organizations involved. For this reason, Elon Musk has explained why this telescope is so important to humanity. Prepare yourself for awe and amazement. Because of its capabilities, the James Webb Space Telescope is a significant undertaking. In order to detect the tiniest traces of information, the telescope was designed to be extremely sensitive. There are claims that it'll be capable of seeing more than 100 times fainter images than the Hubble Space Telescope could see. Many of the stars we now see are billions and billions of light years away from us. Using the telescope, scientists will be able to trace the origins of these light sources back nearly 13 billion years. The telescope is designed to look back in time to when the first stars formed. In a sense, it's like having a window into the past through a time machine. Using the James Webb Telescope, scientists will be able to retrace the university's early history. They'd be able to figure out how the cosmos received its flood of light. Perhaps we'll be able to catch a glimpse of the Big Bang on YouTube in the future. Before the Big Bang, there was nothing but darkness. When the first stars began to shine, the darkness of the cosmos was dispelled, and the process of creation and evolution could begin. Professor John Mather, the James Webb Space Telescope's Nobel Prize-winning senior project scientist, told the BBC that after it sets its 21-foot gold-plated mirrors towards a tiny space in the sky, the telescope's abilities look too fantastic to be true. Let's look at the science behind how the telescope will accomplish its goal for those who are still on the fence. The ability of this telescope seems too good to be true. For the doubting Thomases and skeptics out there, let's get into the science of how the telescope will carry out its purpose. The optical telescope element is the telescope's primary mirror. It collects light with the help of this mirror. 18 gold beryllium hexagonal segments make up this primary mirror. Human hair is 1,000 times thicker than the gold covering on these segments. James Webb Telescope's primary mirror has a diameter of 21 feet, making it 6 times larger than Hubble's light-gathering area. Long-wavelength visible red light is the target of Webb's telescope's low-frequency, long-wavelength design. The new Webb telescope would be able to observe objects that were too far away for the earlier Hubble telescope to see. Where planetary systems and stars are created, it can see through a vast cloud of dust. There are areas the Hubble telescope can only get a glimmer of. Despite the moon's distance from Earth, the Hubble telescope can detect the thermal signature of a bumblebee. Using this telescope, you could see a penny's intricacies from as far away as 25 miles away. Keeping the James Webb Space Telescope cool is critical to its success. The telescope will deploy to a crucial location known as the Lagrange point in order to observe feeble signals from infrared sources without any interference. About 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth's surface, this is a neutral point in space. The Webb's telescope will shelter itself from the Sun, Moon, and Earth with a 5-layered kite-shaped shield in this location. On the 25th of December in the year 2021, the Webb telescope was launched into orbit and is now on its way to the designated Lagrange point. As a result of its size, the telescope had to be folded up and transported aboard a rocket. One of the most challenging projects in the history of space exploration, it stands over 3 stories high and covers an area the size of a tennis court. As the telescope travels through space, it must perform a challenging mechanical task, putting itself together. More than 300 technical issues threaten to derail the mission because of the delicate nature of this maneuver, according to NASA. The greatest images will be available in 6 months, according to scientists. The telescope must go through a number of tests, including the deployment of the sunscreen alignment, instrument activation, and calibration. The calibrations and modifications for Webb's telescope will have to be done remotely because the telescope is so far away. Also, astronomical objects acquired by the Hubble Space Telescope are to be studied in more detail by the James Webb Telescope. Both telescopes, including Hubble's, are fully operational and ready to work together for some time. Other telescopes' discoveries of exoplanets will be studied by Webb's telescope as well. It'll also use data from other telescopes across the world to supplement its own findings. To study the early stages of the universe following the Big Bang, Webb's telescope has been given the task of doing so. In addition, the telescope will look at galaxies. We can learn about the history of the cosmos by studying galaxies. For the purpose of better understanding evolution, it'll look back in time to one of the most primitive galaxies. Stars are thought to have been born at the creation pillars. We've gotten a peek of them thanks to the Hubble telescope, but the star-forming dust and gas clouds obscure what we see. The formation of stars will be studying using Webb's telescope, which will see into these hotspots. NASA's planet-hunting Kepler Space Telescope discovered many exoplanets that will be visible through Webb's telescope. To assist scientists to determine if a planet is habitable, Webb's telescope may be able to acquire images of the planet's atmosphere. To put it another way, this all seems like something out of a science fiction film. That's why we think the James Webb Space Telescope is such a significant human achievement. Don't you think so? With that, we've come to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and of course, don't forget to turn on the notification button, like and subscribe so that you can receive more content in the future. See you soon!